two to me is someone who is compassionate and they're caring, but they also have a deep need to be the best at what they do, whether it's helping others or being a surgeon and being the best surgeon they can be, or the best RN they can be, best nurse, best, anything. I think it's whoever has the desire to be the best.
When I think about the characteristics of someone who would be a who's who and the importance of that, they've got to be someone who is trustworthy, full of integrity, compassion, someone who leads by example, someone who leads through selfless service, someone who would give you the shirt off their back and would give with nothing in return, 24/7, always and forever.
I remember one surgeon who was in a patient's room. The gentleman was scratching his face, and he said, "Something wrong?" And he said, "I just haven't been able to get it shaved today." So the surgeon went to the sink, ran warm water, went back, sat beside him, and shaved his face. And we heard about that when the daughter wrote us and said, "We got excellent care. My dad got great care. But this surgeon did this for my dad, and it touched him, and it touched our family." And we were able to share that story just because a patient shared it.
I have about 134 that work for me right now. The volunteers here at Baptist Easley are phenomenal, and they are the ones who, every day I see them work extra on their shift to sit there because maybe the family member was by themselves when their loved one was in surgery. Well, they don't want them by themselves, so they go get their lunch and grab them lunch, and we'll come up and sit in the waiting room with them. And I've seen them before for a child for his birthday. He made the comment when they were wheeling him out of surgery, "I guess I don't get anything for my birthday this year. Mom and Dad have to pay for my surgery." Well, next thing you know, 4 volunteers come in that gift shop. That kid's got more stuffed animals, balloons, and candy than I think anybody could ever imagine. So they really take their roles as volunteers as a job, and to me that says something. I mean, they've worked their whole lives. They're retired, the majority of them. I do have some young ones, but they've worked, but yet they're still willing to give back, and they have so much to give.
Here we were, 20 years old, and been married about 30 days, and then her dad is diagnosed with cancer, and they've given him about 4 to 6 months to live. And based on those characteristics of someone who is full of integrity and love and compassion, but also realized that we had a plan for our lives. We made the commitment for better, for worse, for sickness or health, to death do us part. Well, she had a very similar relationship with her family, and the family being the most important unit to her. When I joined that family, I became a part of that family. And so during that time, Cammie, she picks up, she goes back to Memphis, Tennessee, and lives with her parents until her dad dies. She takes care of him day in and day out. And I begin to think about, in preparation for this today, is that would I have done the same for her? And I go back to that, I hope I would have. I believe I would have, but I know Cammie would have. And to me, that's what makes people, the special people, the who's who people, of that recognition for something going above and beyond. That's truly, to me, the ones that deserve it.
And then finally, a radiology employee who was just checking in, a lady for a free mammogram. In doing so, she shared just how difficult her life was and how she was struggling. And so that employee took the time and wrote her a note, of encouragement, sent it to her home address. And 2 years later, that lady called and said, "I need to find this employee. Things are much better in my life, but at a time when I was didn't know if I wanted to go on, I got this note, and it made all the difference in my life." So those are the kind of stories that we've been able to hear and celebrate with our community.
I could sit here today and say, you know what, Abraham Lincoln would be a great example, or George Bush, or Barack Obama, or whoever, you name it. But to me, it's the silent heroes. It's those who plan for a rainy day, or those who stay up all night when no one else will, when you got a baby sick, or a husband sick, or a father sick. And you never hear them complain whatsoever. Never. When they're hurting, they're trying to find out, are you hurting?
I think all of these people are unsung heroes, mainly because they don't tell us what they're doing. They don't do it for recognition. And it's only when others let us know, a coworker or a patient or a family member lets us know, that we can celebrate it and honor and hold it up. And so I would say nominate, nominate, nominate.
Because when you nominate someone else, you have to, it's kind of like a crucial conversation. The stakes are high. Opinions vary, emotions get wrapped up. And if you really care about not only the past, because you're thinking usually about the past, is you want to share that for the future, because future changes. So to have someone to take the time to think about someone, what they have contributed to society, contribute to life, and to take all that history, present and future, it's worth it. Because you want to share that culture, you want to share that story. That's inclusion, that's diversity.
If someone stands out to you enough that you think you need to, then you need to. It's worth your time to let them know what they did impacted you in a way that made you think so highly of them. I think when you nominate people, they don't realize what they're doing, or even if they realize, they're the last people that want to be nominated for it. So if you don't nominate them, they'll never get told what they're doing. Really does mean a lot. And not that they're doing it to be told. They're not. None of them do. But it lets other people know that we see you, we appreciate you. And I think it encourages others to say, I can do that. I can give a little bit more of myself, and look what we can accomplish if we all just do a little bit